almost 2 months into the new year, and if you're still trying to get last year's finances under control, well, this is the time to make it happen. But we all know the first steps can be the hardest.
Aren't they always, right? Well, our next guest is a financial expert who can help you take control of things, which is what we need to do. And Nicole Appen has a new book out next week, Miss Independent, a simple 12-step plan to start investing and growing your own wealth, which everybody wants the secrets to. Nicole, always good to see you.
Great to see you.
Well, let's jump right in because this is an exciting book, and I love the cover, by the way. I told you that off camera. I think it just looks great, and you're green. So what is one easy thing people can start doing today on the road to financial independence?
Well, as you said, the first steps are important. They can be the hardest. The only problem you can't fix financially, and frankly, in general, is when you don't admit you have. So first, admit you have a problem. And second, take control of that problem. And a lot of those issues can come down to negotiating. And we've long heard about negotiating your salary. It's tricky to do it, of course, but you can take control of all different kinds of bills and negotiate them because they're your hard-earned money. You might as well fight for them. So I would suggest this is a good time to do it in the beginning of the year. Set aside some time, grab a glass of wine, whatever does it for you. Try to get through your credit card APR, that's negotiable. A lot of folks don't know that. Your housing, your cable, your phone bill, your car lease or note, and any medical debt. So just because it's on a fancy piece of paper doesn't mean it's gospel. All of it's negotiable. The worst thing they can say is no.
So Nicole,
do it with a glass of wine, and you're in a good place. I feel like it feels better.
Right. Speaking of housing, though, that can be some people's biggest expense. So are there some ways that we can cut down on those payments without downsizing, I guess?
Yeah, one of my favorite housing hacks is to switch to bi-weekly mortgage payments instead of monthly. So you're paying the exact same amount, you're just doing it twice a month instead of once a month. And this actually shaves off years and thousands of dollars from your mortgage. So a quick example, if you have a $100,000 30-year fixed rate at 6.5%, you're paying about $127,000 in interest, plus of course the principal, for a total of $227,000. If you are paying every 2 weeks, you then have $97,000 of interest, not chump change, still a lot of money, but that's $30,000 less than you would be spending. So you're essentially cutting out more interest by paying more frequently.
And so what can you do with the money saved? Because that's the big question. Is there an easy way to make that start growing in a smart way?
I would set up direct deposit. So we know this around bill paying, right? We set it on auto pay, we set it and forget it. The same thing you can do with your direct deposit for your savings. If you don't have an emergency fund, this is a great time to do it. The pandemic has shown us that emergencies, of course, happen. So having 6 to 9 months of expenses in the bank is important. And then after that, don't stop. I would put money into low-cost, low-risk investments like low-cost S&P 500 index funds, which, ladies, by the way, Warren Buffett even put in his will for a majority of his money. And he's one of the greatest investors of our time. You don't have to look at stock charts all day long to grow your wealth. You just kind of have to set up a system now in the beginning of the year and then set it and forget it.
Smart.
So Nicole, I'll probably be buying your book and gifting it to many of my girlfriends. But
thank you.
Tell us, what was the inspiration behind writing Miss Independent?
So, Tamsin, you've known me forever. I did not come from money. I learned how to make my own money. I learned how to make it grow and work for me while I'm sleeping. And it has become my mission to take the jargon out of doing this. And there wasn't a book at this level that did that. You can't budget your way into wealth. Budgeting is awesome, but you can't save your way into wealth. In fact, as high as your base salary gets, even into the 6 or 7 figures, that's not going to grow long-term wealth. And the only thing that is investing. So utilizing that beautiful, beautiful force of compound interest that Einstein calls the 8th wonder of the world, because we work so hard for our money, right, guys? It's time it returned the favor, in my opinion.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And I have known you a long time, and you've done it the right way. And that's what makes it so aspirational and inspirational. So thank you for sharing your advice. I know always more to come. We would love to have you back. And thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Some great advice there. Well, an employee returned.